Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Astaghfirullahi rabbi min kulli zambi wa atubu ilayhi. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into PTV World. You watching World this morning alongside my very amazing co-host Shiza Hashmi, and my name is Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, great. What about you, Shahzad?
Well, I think I was doing great yesterday, but there were a few incidents, and I actually they got my attention, and they got my attention to an extent where I actually felt a little upset too as well. But ladies and gentlemen, since we are about to get started with the show, so I just want everybody to be happy wherever they are, safe, and yes, then at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, there's one thing which I wanted to mention, and that is that for all of that amount of money you have with you in these days, please make sure that you spend very wisely, because coronavirus or COVID-19 is here to stay for a longer period of time.
Yeah, unfortunately
And you really do not want to spend money over stuff which is not going to be very useful while you're at home. What do you
That
have
is
to say,
absolutely
Shiza?
true, and I think I'm going to actually further that point as well, ladies and gentlemen. While of course we're sort of really happy about it, that maybe situation can shortly get a little better, and that is why there was a little ease in the lockdown as well. But here's the thing: you guys on your own have to be really cognizant of what you do with the lockdown, with the ease in lockdown, especially. I think Shazad will get to what he wanted to say about what really sort of put him off. But before that, Shazad, if you please do allow me, there are some things I want to mention over here. This is from the administration of ICT as well. They have given proper SOPs and guidelines of places that can be, opened in the lockdown as well, and places that won't be. So I'm just going to be sort of telling you guys things that are not still allowed because of the lockdown. It's public gatherings, first of all.
Okay.
Of course, I mean, there is no way you guys can get together more than 10 people, sometimes even more than 40 in terms of weddings too. Cinema halls are not going to open, marquees or wedding halls not at all going to open. Gyms are closed, sorry Shazad, but it's going to be closed for quite some months now. Other than that, public transport will be off the roads for as long as I can think of, but let's see how that eases. And barbershops, well, they are going to be closed as well, of course, for hygienic reasons, and I think that is a good decision as well. Other than that, the things that I did not mention over here, I think they will be open on and off on different certain timings as well. You can go to the website and check. But again, coming back to the point where you yourself have to be cognizant of what you're going to do, when you're going to go out, if you're going to go out at all or not. And now coming to why Shazad was sort of put off yesterday.
Yeah, so there's just one simple reason, ladies and gentlemen, and that is that I yesterday actually came across a few pictures from some branded stores, obviously clothing stores as well, where there were women lined up outside, and it looked like as if everyone out there was in a contest to get the best jora for themselves as well. But ladies and gentlemen, what I was failing to understand was that what is the point of getting a new jora or a new dress when, God forbid, you won't be able to wear it, because the way those people were lined up out of those stores was actually a free ticket to coronavirus. There was no
Absolutely.
social distancing, and I think that this is something for people to do. And what is so hard in understanding that we actually have to maintain our distance? Those clothes are there within those stores. All you have to do is wait for your turn and maintain distance. Why do you keep on pushing? What's wrong with women these days? I mean, what's the point of getting all of those new dresses when one of the family member will be ill, or God forbid won't be present on this Eid? Have
Hope
some
not.
sense, ladies and gentlemen. The government has done what they were supposed to do. Now it's on to you, and the responsibility will be on to you too as well. Please make sure that you look after your loved ones, because if this is the way we are going to go forward, we are not a very responsible nation. And let me be very clear over here that the 2% of the elite was actually there outside all of those shops who wanted to get those new dresses, who say or who claim that they are the educated ones. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very weak situation. This is a very I think that it will actually change the very dynamic of your family if, God forbid, one of the ladies going to contract the virus and then go home and then spread it to all the loved ones as well. Please make sure that you do not buy a jora, because a jora is not, or a dress is not important than your life.
Absolutely, 100% agreed with that. And one more thing, I'm literally and utterly disappointed in the same fact as well. And just to mention over here, this is not about a gender. And when we say ladies out there, it's because we saw it's on fact, it's on video, ladies and gentlemen. Most of the people, I want to say more than 90% of the people who sort of, overlooked or even violated the lockdown were women in the Twin Cities, in Islamabad and Rawalpindi especially. Don't know about the other parts of the country, I hope not. But here's the thing, if you're not really, willing to listen to what Shazad said in terms of saving yourself and saving your family, think about it. The workers at your favorite, let's say, Limelight or even Khadi, the people who are going to serve you over there, the people who are going to work there, aren't you worried about them? I mean, of course, they're on their job, but you should be careful at least. I mean, I really hope I don't come across any of these similar things again. Well, Pakistan, please save yourself and the people around you too.
Thank you very much, Izza, for saying that as well, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, we have a brilliant idea. And the idea is that this time around, rather than spending thousands of rupees on your new dresses, what you can do is that you can give it in charity, the same amount of money. You know, if you want to help somebody, please go ahead, because I think that Ramadan is one of those holy months where we should actually take advantage of it. And ladies and gentlemen, whenever we speak about charity, I mean, Pakistan is one of those countries. Obviously, you know, we have a the maximum population is of Muslim community as well. Our religion tells us for about charity and being philanthropic in nature as well. Our Allah tells us that, you know, whatever has been given to you by me, you should actually give it to other people. Absolutely. By yourself as well. But that is from Allah. And then Allah actually tells us, ladies and gentlemen, that whatever amount we are actually going to spend by giving it into charity, by giving it in zakat, by giving it at sadaqah, it is actually going to come back to us, and we will get wealthier. We're not actually depleting our resources. That's how Allah has actually taught us. That's how Allah has motivated us to do so as well. And a lot of people, other than that, who actually believe in this as well, say that this is a business with Allah Almighty. You know, whatever amount you spend is actually going to come back to you.
Investment,
This is one thing I've lived my life on, ladies and gentlemen. This is the number one rule. For people who spend in the way of Allah Almighty, you will never see them asking for money or for anything from anybody else.
Absolutely.
Upar wala haath, niche wale haath se bahut behtar hota hai. And this is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by the director, Abdul Wadud Center of Quranic Sciences, Allama Iqbal Open University. Ladies and gentlemen, he's an Islamic scholar himself, a regular on the show, Professor Dr. Abdul Masud Saab. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Good morning.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. And ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, that the latest trend over here at World This Morning is that we start our day with a naat. So to do the honors, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by Hamad Raza Saab. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam, sir. बहुत शुक्रिया.
क्या सुनाएंगे आज?
मनकबत है वो सुनाता हूँ.
बिस्मिल्लाह.
सखा इनकी वरासत है, अताएं की वरासत है, सखा इनकी वरासत है, अताएं की वरासत है, अली के हैं ये घर वाले, वफाएं की वरासत है, अली के हैं ये घर वाले, वफाएं की वरासत है। ये पत्थर मारने वालों से भी बदला नहीं लेते, ये पत्थर मारने वालों से भी बदला नहीं लेते, क्योंकि करम इनकी वरासत है, दुआएं की वरासत है, अली के हैं ये घर वाले, वफाएं की वरासत है। वो हस्ती हो खदीजा की, वो ज़हरा हो कि ज़ैनब हो, वो हस्ती हो खदीजा की, वो ज़हरा हो कि ज़ैनब हो, गवाह कुदसी है लोगों, गवाह कुदसी है लोगों, हयाएं की वरासत है, अली के हैं ये घर वाले, वफाएं की वरासत है। चलो तुम हौज़े कौसर पर या जन्नत के बगीचों में, चलो तुम हौज़े कौसर पर या जन्नत के बगीचों में। तलब हो जिस जगह की वो तलब हो जिस जगह की वो जगह की वरासत है। अली के हैं ये घर वाले, वफाएं की वरासत है। न दो वैकूफियों ताना के बारिश मांग लो रब से। न दो वैकूफियों ताना के बारिश मांग लो रब से। ये मांगें तो अभी बरसे, ये मांगें तो अभी बरसे। घटाएं की वरासत है, अली के हैं ये घर वाले, वफाएं की वरासत है।
Jazakallah, this was beautiful.
बहुत खूबसूरत, बहुत
Just
उम्दा।
absolutely beautiful to listen to early in the morning as well. But now, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly getting to Basit up over here. Sir, thank you so much for joining us again. We know that every good deed is multiplied, the reward is multiplied by 70 times in Ramadan, which is a blessing for all of the Muslims all around the world. Let us know about charity specifically, how to do it, especially in Ramadan, and what are the rewards.
And we do not even know whether it's 70 times or 70,000 times or 70,000 quadruple times.
Yes, of course. The thing is that Islam is a perfect code of life. So it covers every aspect of our life. And charity is so important in Islam that whenever you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us to offer prayer, simultaneously there is to pay zakat, to pay charity.
Yes, always.
So what is that? In fact, Islam has this concept that whatever we are doing for humans, Allah is rewarding us.
Exactly.
So the thing is that in second surah of Quran, that is Surah Al-Baqarah, and where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that this is a book from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and there is no doubt about it, then Allah is mentioning that whatever are the personality traits we must have to follow to take guidance from Quran. One of them is وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. Whatever we have given to them, they are spending in the way of Allah from them.
Exactly.
So we have to analyze daily. See, we have to spend daily some sadaqah. Because sadaqah radde bala hai. If we want to save ourselves from unforeseen calamities, for instance, if this COVID-19 is there, so sadaqah is protection shield for that. People are in misery, there are no jobs, those who are daily wager, they have no opportunity to meet their both ends.
Exactly.
So who is responsible? We all are responsible. And one thing more, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in Surah At-Tawbah, this is ayat number 111, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying a very first part of that, Inna Allah ashtara min al-mu'minina anfusahum wa amwalahum bi anna lahum al-jannah. I perceived, I understood whatever is Islam, whatever is kalma, and we are entering into the borders of Islam. The meaning of that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Allah has purchased yourself and your wealth, and the price is Jannat.
Beautiful.
So if we have this thing in our mind, that this self is not now ours, nor our wealth is ours.
Yeah.
So we have given to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, we have to do that. And furthermore, we all have, mashallah, Muslims, they memorized Ayatul Kursi, and very adjacent to Ayatul Kursi, there is an ayah. In Surah Baqarah again, third para. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, anfiqu mimma razaqnakum min qabli an ya'tiya yawmun la bay'un wala khullatun wala shafa'a wal kafiruna humud dhalimun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is again saying the same thing. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, those who claim that they are Muslims. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, anfiqu, do spend in the way of Allah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mimma razaqnakum min qabl. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to you. Before that, the day will come when there would be no sale and purchase, means the day of judgment. And then Allah is saying very, 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 what we could say harshly, because the thing is like this. Wal kafirun humud dhalimun. Those whoever is denying this spending in the way of Allah, they are tyrants.
All right.
So the thing is that very clear verdict of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there.
Yes.
And you see Prophet, peace be upon him, we claim that we are ummati of Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So not just in Ramadan, before Ramadan, in Shaban, Prophet, peace be upon him, was spending in the way of Allah like wind.
Beautiful.
And the thing is that you see, zakat is fard on everyone, those who have their resources.
The capacity.
Yes, of course. So zakat, this is the best time to pay zakat in Ramadan time. As Ashiza was saying, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving multifold rewards in this month. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has guided us that best spending on sadaqat and zakat is those who are very close to you, your extended family, then your neighbors, then those you know them, that what is their status. And the best thing is those who cannot ask anybody to help them. Quran is saying that you have to feel through their faces.
Yeah.
Right.
That they have nothing to eat. Just imagine if somebody is on iftar time sitting, and for his or her kids there is nothing to eat. So what would be the situation? And what we are doing, we are, as Shahzad was saying, that this time even we are just like spendthrifts.
Exactly.
So we must focus that we have to pay others. We have to share our everything. Prophet, peace upon him, said that how can this is possible that in neighborhood people have nothing to eat,
Right.
and you are taking your dinner and then relaxing? How come this is not possible?
So thank you very much for saying that, and I'm going to add on to that as well, because I just thought about us reading Islamic history, and then there were times, might not know the name correctly as well, but I think it was Hazrat Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, when he was actually looking after the state as well. There was nobody to give charity to. So those were the times as well, and the mechanisms were so swift and in place that there was nobody sleeping hungry, and that ruler of that time would actually be worried even if the dog was ill at that time as well. So do you think, because Pakistan ranks amongst the top countries who are very philanthropic in nature, who do a lot of charitable work, do you think that there is a proper mechanism which needs to be in place, or Allah has told us about that mechanism? How do you think that we need to give out charity? Do you think that we need to give out charity to everybody who's out there on the signals these days, that we have a lot of beggars over here? Because, everybody is giving charity, but by the end of the day, we see those beggars again and again on those same street lights. So how do you think that it needs to work?
In fact, I already mentioned that we must be given to them, we know them, that what is their situation. For instance, we have a lot of people around, those who have their very minor businesses.
Exactly.
Because of this lockdown situation, they cannot have that opportunity.
Right.
Those who are cart vendors, those, even you see, most vulnerable people are those who are security guards.
Right.
Those who are even taxi drivers. if there is no movement,
Right. No services, no
no
public
services,
transport.
so who will avail? And you just see, you just practice this and feel that if anybody is not asking you for anything and you are just watching their faces and feeling something inside you, and you are just sharing something with them, and whatever prayers they would be giving you, whatever happiness would be coming on their faces, that today they will also take some fruit to their kids. So this is what Islam is guiding us. And the mechanism is, see, state is also responsible and individual is also responsible. And there are a lot of people, those who are doing this thing. And we all must do this thing. We see that, you see, Prophet, peace upon him, said that if there is a food for 2, 3 or 4 easily can eat that.
Exactly, that's true actually.
Yes, so we must, at least in Ramadan, we must start that whenever we are preparing iftar for ourselves, we share that. Sahri, we could share with them.
That's amazing. But sir, now one more thing, and I think it is very important, it is very relevant in these days as well, because as in, brothers and sisters together, because they say that charity begins at home.
Yeah.
And I think that this is one thing we all need to realize. All your brothers and sisters might not be doing very well in life, but I don't think that brothers and sisters are very relaxed while asking for money from their other siblings as well. There's added stress and whatnot, which is why it's been said that you actually make sure that the other person does not get a chance to say to you, you understand it beforehand, and that you help them as well. But what does Quran tells us about how to give it? I mean, even if it's charity, do we actually have to say to our sisters or brothers that this is charity from my side as well? Because then obviously they will feel it, and their ego might get hurt, and their self-esteem might get hurt as well. So what's the best way to do
Quran
this?
is saying that sirran wa alaniya, secretly you can give charity to someone and openly as well. Because situations are different. Sometimes you are giving charity in open because other people may also inspire themselves for that.
Right.
Only for that purpose it can be. For instance, there is having this social distance or everything. If you serve somebody with iftar or something like that, so that is, people are knowing. And one thing more, Islam's concept is that whatever is fard, whatever is a duty, that can be openly done. For instance, prayer, offering
Zakat.
prayer. No, I'm giving one example, salah and zakat, both. Because this is fard, you can openly also give to people. And see, but the tahajjud salat, that is individually for you. So both the things are there in Islam and in Quran. But the thing is that if you are giving particularly zakat, so there are some restrictions as well. For instance, if somebody is from Ahle Bayt, you cannot give them zakat.
Right, blood relations cannot really.
Yes.
Okay.
So you have to, otherwise, in the shape of gifts, presents, you can give them. But zakat is for those who are more inferior in their social, financial terms. So the thing is that the best thing you said in your intro, that we must have this belief that who is spending in the way of Allah, Allah will reward him here. Not only at the time of Day of Judgment, here he would be rewarded. And a lot of people, lot of examples are there who is just giving 10 times here and 70 times over there in at the time of Day of Judgment.
Exactly.
So we must all do something in this few days are left of Ramadan al Mubarak, and we must utilize that.
Inshallah. Thank you so
very
much
much,
for
sir,
saying
for
that.
saying that as well. And ladies and gentlemen, sorry Shiza, I'm sorry that I'm cutting it, but I'm going to leave people with an example too as well, that there have been situations even in my life, because I'm an avid believer, and I think that whenever you spend in Allah's way, it comes back to you multiplied like 100 or 1,000 times as well.
True.
And there has been situations where I was left with very short amount of money or small amount of money, and I gave it in charity, all of it. And I didn't knew that it's going to come back anytime sooner as well. And the same day, the same evening, I got a good news. And ladies and gentlemen, this is how the belief systems work. And this is what everybody needs to know, that if you have this faith, which is 100% and it's out there, things work out.
Yeah, I totally do sort of agree with that. And Shazad, you know, I can relate to it because for you and I, we are paycheck to paycheck,
Yes.
right? I mean, we are daily wages, of course, and once we do get paid, we have to wait for the next one as well. So it's a brilliant thing what you do, Shazad, and I've seen him do that as well. I think the only purpose we're mentioning it over here is to set sort of an example or to inspire people out there as well. Even if you have, let's say, the last 5,000 rupees for the rest of the month and you're thinking, I don't know what you're going to do with it, just give it away for people in need. Allah has taken care of you so far. He's going to do it in the future as well, inshallah.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned to find out what we're talking about in the second segment as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى أن رآه استغنى إن إلى ربك الرجعى أرأيت الذي ينهى عبدا إذا صلى أرأيت إن كان على الهدى أو أمر بالتقوى أرأيت إن كذب وتولى ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى كلا لئن لم ينته لنسفعا بالناصية ناصية كاذبة خاطئة فليدع ناديه سندع الزبانية كلا لا تطعه واسجد واقترب.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the world this morning with Shazad Khan and Shazaa Hashmi, ladies and gentlemen, where as usual, like every other day, we have promised and taken a pledge to inform you, educate you, and then take you with us on our journey to being a better Muslim, especially in this month of Ramadan. Well, in the first segment, we were speaking about charity. We were speaking about, you know, how this month actually invokes a spirit in you, in us, in all of us, to actually help the creation of the Almighty as well. A lot of people actually around us, from our friend circles, from generally, you know, from around us as well, are doing a lot to help people in need, especially in this COVID-19 situation and especially in Ramadan too. Some are actually giving out cash, some are actually giving out ration bags, so many other things on the list as well. So we decided, why don't we call one of those people on the show?
Exactly, and it is very important and imperative, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that we share them as inspirations with all of you who are out there as well. Because, ladies and gentlemen, in these times, we have seen that everybody has stepped up in their game as well, and everybody wants to take the maximum advantage out of this holy month, because
So
for
proud.
whatever actions we are going to perform, whatever things we're going to do for the betterment of other people within the community, may it be Muslims or may it be not Muslims.
Very
Ladies and gentlemen,
important.
this is something very important. They will be benefited by Allah Almighty over here and the world hereafter as well. So since we were actually talking about the importance of charity and how you can benefit it within this month, ladies and gentlemen, we now actually have been joined by somebody who's making sure that, you know, with their charitable acts, they're making sure that nobody is going to sleep hungry in even these days as well, because there are a lot of people who've lost their jobs, a lot of people who have lost their businesses, a lot of people are under stress as well. But now what is different over here is, ladies and gentlemen, that this particular NGO is actually giving ration bags which can actually make you help survive for at least a month. you know, there are different people who have different initiatives. There are people giving ration bags which can actually last you a week too as well. But not just that, ladies and gentlemen, that it's going to last you over a month. They have even made sure that they're going to go out and target the larger community, which is almost 2,000 families, ladies and gentlemen. It's not an easy task. And here she is with us today, and she's going to be an inspiration for all of us. And I want everybody to take out or probably learn something from what they have actually done in these times as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are lucky that we've actually been joined by the Executive Director, Interfaith League Against Poverty. She's a social activist herself as well. She's none other than Miss Nazia Ansari. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Walaikum assalam, good morning, and thank you very much for having me on the show, Shiza and Shazad.
Thank you
our
very much
pleasure.
for joining
Thank you so
us. And
much.
I'm going to start the conversation by saying that you guys are doing a wonderful job. It's a noble job that you're looking after the people, and in such a manner that they really do not have to worry about food for another 29 days when you hand them the ration bags. Who came up with this idea?
Well, we've been, Interfaith League Against Poverty has been working in disasters, and we're working with the marginalized communities, be it women, be it the religious minorities, children. It depends in different areas, it's different minority groups.
Yep.
So we've worked in mega disasters like the earthquakes and the floods. So those were mega projects at that time. So we worked all over Pakistan. So we have ample experience of dealing with people and knowing and recognizing their needs, actually.
The most important
and
part.
being inclusive in doing what we're doing, because we cannot choose and we cannot assess people on the basis of their religion, their caste, creed or color or whatever the biases are right now.
Which I think is wonderful as well. I'm sorry that I'm interjecting, but since we're short of time and we need to get the information out as well, what is the ground reality these days, you know, for all those people who've lost their jobs, people who cannot go to work? What are they feeling? And how do you identify that these are the areas where people are in dire need?
People are actually, of course, very depressed because it hit us right in the face. We didn't know what it is. We still don't know what it is. It's a hidden enemy. We don't know, we can't see it.
And sometimes we even tend to ignore it though.
We tend to ignore it because we don't see anything happening to our bodies.
Yeah, I get it. It's like mental health.
It's like, because it's going to affect our lungs and people don't know how it is going to affect. It's a flu, it's a virus, it's not serious, they're not taking it seriously. And we're working with the people in slum areas, low-lying areas. So we know they have absolutely no knowledge of what coronavirus is actually.
So you also having an awareness campaign sort of?
When we do the distribution, we hold it in small groups and we give them a 20-minute session on hygiene.
Personal hygiene.
Ask them, tell them, acquaint them with this virus, how to be healthy, how to remain healthy, how to look after their families and how to practice hygiene properly.
That's great.
So they don't know, Shiza, absolutely, they have no idea what coronavirus is.
And you guys actually informed them. But here's the thing, that's brilliant, because of course there are certain segments of the society which do need education. But then again, Nazia, there are certain segments of the society, like, I don't know if you were watching, Shazad and I were talking about in the beginning, the educated ones, the privileged, the elite ones. I mean, knowing everything, having all the knowledge and still choosing to, well, ignore it and then actually be a threat to everyone around them as well. Please don't be one of them. Now, coming back, do you have a team of volunteers? Do you get donations? How does it work?
Yes, the organization, of course, runs on donations and kind and able philanthropists, local or international. And of course, they tell us which project they want to do with us. So we were, of course, doing food project. And from tomorrow, we're going to do another very interesting project because our organization realized that working with the religious minorities, we realized that they are not getting any personal protection equipment. While they're janitors, while they are sanitary workers, and they are really in a very, very dangerous situation, picking up hospital waste, picking up waste from the markets, I mean...
Industrial even.
And they're like in the midst of it. And those are the ones who are really prone to this virus. And plus, if you don't give them personal protection equipment, they go back to their densely populated areas, infect everybody, and maids, servants, drivers, cab drivers, your paramedics, everybody comes out of those slum areas and spreads the virus.
But you know, here's the thing, Nazia, it's sort of a circle as well. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm not, let's say, also expecting an answer to this. But when you said that minorities are actually, you know, the blue collar workers in our society, which is true, unfortunate, I don't know why that happens as well. So here's the thing, we cannot give them off days because of course they need to run their houses as well. But we cannot also engage with them directly because we're sort of, you know, worried for ourselves. So where do they go?
They are in misery right now.
Of course.
So as I was saying that we are going to start distribution of PPE kits from tomorrow. We're working with the Municipal Corporation Islamabad.
That's
and because
nice.
of course we have to be a helping hand of the government. The government is doing whatever they can do in this dire situation, but we have to be the helping hand of the government. So we thought that nobody is catering to them, so now we are catering to 1,000 sanitary workers. And from tomorrow we're going to start the distributions, which is a very good kit to give them very good protection.
I actually want to take this moment to appreciate you guys over here. This is brilliant, mashallah, mashallah. I really hope you guys take this further as well, because Shahzad, we've had people on the show as well talk about or even, you know, give out PPEs to people working. They were nurses, they were doctors, they were people working on the front line as well, but we tend to forget that the blue collar workers or sanitary workers, janitors, whatnot, they are frontline workers too. They did not have one day off ever since COVID-19, so they deserve equal attention like anyone else in the front line does.
Exactly. Thank you very much for saying that, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, there's one thing which actually made me feel very bad, and that is that, you know, for all those people wearing gloves, may them be on television, may them be anywhere else, what I've seen recently is that people are actually habitual of throwing their gloves, which they wore once, onto the streets. Please don't do that, yeah. You know, we really need to be very sensible about it. Why can't you just put a bag in your car and whenever you take off the gloves, just put them in? Why are you being selfish about your health and not being selfish about the other person who's actually going to touch those gloves to pick them up? Please make sure that you don't do that. And very quickly, what I want you to ask over here was that, you know, ration bags obviously is a brilliant idea, PPEs is a brilliant idea, but for people who do not have any more jobs, you know, this essential amount of money which you do require to go through the month, or you know to go through this very process which we call life. Are we considering that, you know, paying 1,000 or 2,000 to somebody as well, because they might want to get something for themselves? And since it's going to be Eid around the corner, why can't we just probably bring the ration down for 20 days and whatever the amount is for 10 days, we give their kids a dress for Eid, something of that sort, which actually gives them a smile too.
Exactly, that's a good idea, Shahzad, but I would still prefer giving out cash to people, because parents need cash to run the house. And it's not only food that they require right now, they need to pay their bills, they need other things like medication for the elderly in their households, for the children, a lot of things that they need to cater to. So the next project that ILAP is going to start will be Cash for Work. Because we thought that all those people in the low-lying areas and small bastis, they're all sitting there doing nothing. And if they keep giving them out handouts, they're going to be just sitting there and waiting for handouts.
Exactly.
The rest of
you can't
the
make them
COVID
lazy, man.
situation. So it's time now to engage those people to work and to get cash so that they can run their houses. So you get two things out of that.
So I think what we need to do right now is that we actually need to tell people how they can donate or give charity, because, you know, that's what the first segment was about. And if somebody's taken inspiration from, ladies and gentlemen, these are these authentic people we actually bring out and make sure that, you know, that they share their story. And please, ladies and gentlemen, while you do it, make sure that you do it with a big heart as well. So where can we donate or where can we give our charity? Please look into the camera.
Or how to just contact you at all, even to volunteer.
Yes.
Right. It's I can give you out the mobile number. It's 0331 5363 737, and the organization is based in Islamabad. We're working from Blue area, but right now we're working from a senior colleague's house because I think that's safer. And you can contact me on this number, and if you want to volunteer, if you want to give donations, because as we say, it's charity is not all about money, it's also about your time, your devotion, and any skill that you have, and of course then money.
Exactly. That's wonderful. Thank you very much for saying that. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to donate for Interfaith League against poverty, please make sure that you dial on the number 0331 536 3737. I'm always good with digits.
Nice.
Please make sure that you donate with your big hearts. Please make sure that you know that whatever you have, whatever is in your capacity, you do it, because there are people out there who are in need of it, and you will be awarded over here and even in the world hereafter as well. Very quickly, if you have a message for people out there, if there's something which you had in your mind which you wanted to say or share, please go ahead, say it.
Well, I would like to say that we, as a Pakistani, as a human being first, and then as a Pakistani, have a duty, as you said, to protect ourselves and to protect others.
Yes.
We cannot be mean about it, we cannot be callous about it.
Exactly.
So when we take care of ourselves, we have to take care of our neighbors as well. And when they say that take care of your neighbors, when God has instructed us to take care of our neighbors, in our neighborhood, we do not judge by religion. We do not judge by how much money they have. Even the birds, the animals that live around us in the neighborhood are our neighbors.
Yes.
So please think about them. Please try to engage those in your kindness. Make a part of your life to share something, even if it is a small morsel. Share, because maybe for you that is a very small, insignificant amount or thing, but maybe for another person, that's what he really needed.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much for saying that, and thank you very much, Ms. Nazia, for being with us. It was
Thank
wonderful
you
to
for
have
having
you.
me.
And very quickly, one more thing which I'm going to add to, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, that even before COVID-19 came in, there were few areas on this planet where kids and people were dying of hunger. I think what we really need to do is that we really need to take in account all of those places as well, which are all over the world, a few parts in the African continent as well. So please make sure that we actually devise a way where kids shouldn't actually be dying of hunger, may it be COVID-19 or not. I think we really need to come out of this as well together, and yeah, that's how things are being done all over the world.
Absolutely.
Everybody is together in these times as well. Not just that, you know, there are people who've actually made WhatsApp groups, and what they've done is that, you know, since you mentioned about neighbors as well, there are a lot of people, you know, even in my neighborhood, who are very elderly. And you know, they cannot go out, they cannot stand in the queues as well. So what we have done is that we've made a WhatsApp group. Now what happens is that we write all the extra items we have at our place, and if there's somebody within the street who needs them, they just
Wonderful.
text us and we go and deliver it to their
Add me
doorstep.
to the group as well, man.
Yes.
I mean, we're in the same neighborhood after all. But thank you
Yeah.
so much for actually telling me that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope to inspire you and invoke that spirit of, well, kindness, charity, compassion in you every other day, because we love to do that. One thing how Shahzad spoke about, Nazia, you know, how we are sort of getting our hands on the authentic people here around us as well to actually bring the stories to you. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, we're a state channel and the state works for you guys, right? So we sort of, you know, understand this, and we like to highlight the fact that we want to bring on our show people from within you, people from among yourselves as well. So first of all, you can relate to them. You should know that they are exactly like you. And if they have the capacity to bring out the kindness and, you know, share it with the world as well, you have it too. That is what we love to do and inspire you early in the morning as well. If you have any other ideas or queries or feedback, do write to us on a Facebook page with the name of
World This Morning on your television screens down here, yes.
on Twitter,
On Twitter, it's World This Morning without a G.
on YouTube,
On YouTube, it's PTV World, and you look for the most viewed show, which is World This Morning.
and the repeat you can catch
Alhamdulillah.
at
5 past 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves and make sure that nobody around you is
Sleeps
actually under stress or sleeping hungry. Please make sure that you go out, help them with all of that energy you have within yourselves as well. Thank you very much for doing a wonderful job, Interfaith League Against Poverty as well. Thank you very much, Basis Saab, for being with us as well. For everybody who's out there, look after yourselves. Remember us all, our entire team, in your prayers, because that's what we do as well.
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.